Our presentation was on kashrut. What does kashrut mean? Kashrut comes from the Hebrew root kaf shin resh, meaning fit, proper, or correct. It means the same as kosher. They are both a set of dietary restrictions that members of the Jewish faith follow. Some general rules of kosher. Kosher is not only a set of rules saying what you can and cannot eat, it is a set of guidelines about how the foods must be prepared and handled. There are certain animals that cannot be eaten. All animals must be killed in a certain way. The blood must be drained before it can be eaten. Certain parts of approved animals may not be eaten. Fruits must be inspected for bugs. There are limitations on fruit and dairy. Utensils that came into contact with meat can't come into contact with dairy, or vice versa. Utensils that came into contact with non-kosher food cannot be used, and grape products are not permitted. What foods are kosher? Keeping meat and milk separate came from rabbinical interpretation of Exodus chapter 23 verse 19. Bring the best of the first fruits of your soil to the house of the Lord your God. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. You may eat any animal that has cloven hooves and chews its cud. Cattle, sheep, goats, deer, and bison are kosher. What is not kosher? The eggs of kosher birds are permitted as long as they do not contain blood. Fish may be consumed if they have both scales and fins. Example, salmon and tuna. Fish may also not be consumed if they are bottom feeders. Fish that cannot be eaten: shrimp, lobster, crab, mussels, catfish, and eels. The stern of a cow cannot be consumed. Why did Jews observe this law? The main reason Jews observe this law is because of the rules Moses laid down in the Torah. Most of the rules of kosher were not directly explained by God. Most of the rules were interpreted by rabbis from lines in the Torah. Where did these rules come from? Like in the previous slide, most of the rules come from rabbinical interpretation, not the words spoken by God. This is why different types of Judaism have different degrees of following these laws because of their rabbi's interpretation. Modern companies are being certified kosher. Look for these symbols to see if your favorite foods are kosher or not.
GetKosher.com. Kosher? What is it? What does it mean? What makes it kosher? Kosher in Hebrew means fit, correct, or proper. Kosher is the set of Jewish dietary laws that dictate what kinds of foods can be eaten, how they need to be prepared, and what foods can be eaten together. Kosher goes back thousands of years, and it was written in the Torah. The first part of kosher is the types of animals that can be eaten, and also what parts of the animal can be eaten. It is written in the Torah, any animal that chews the cud and has a cloven hoof is kosher. Cows, sheep, goats, and deer are kosher. Pigs are not kosher. It is forbidden to eat birds of prey and scavenger birds such as bats and vultures. Chicken, duck, geese, turkey are all kosher. Insects and crawling things like worms are not kosher. Fish need to have both fins and scales to be kosher. Scavenger fish are not kosher. Next part is the preparation of the food. It needs to follow strict rules in order to be kosher. Animals must be slaughtered so that there is as little pain as possible. Also, only healthy animals are kosher. Animals are carefully inspected, and if they don't meet strict requirements, they are not kosher. Any processed foods need to be prepared under strict rabbinical supervision. Foods are checked carefully to make sure the right ingredients are used and that it does not contain any small insects. It must be perfect in order to be kosher. The third part of kosher is not mixing meat and milk together. Cheeseburgers are not kosher. All meat and dairy utensils must be kept separate, so there is no accidental mixing of the two. There's a lot more to kosher and understanding it, and we recommend visiting Wikipedia and Chabad website to learn more. This video has been brought to you by GetKosher.com. Order your favorite kosher restaurants and food online.